this is Michelle Sizemore at michellesizemore.com, and that's Michelle with one L in my website. Today you'll learn how to make these little citrus circles using this citrus slice border maker cartridge from Creative Memories. I'm going to do the yellow one for like lemons. I'm going to set that aside. Grab some yellow cardstock. We need 2 shades of yellow. And I have these stored in my Power Project folders. These are what I use to organize all my Creative Memories cardstock and my collections and things. Inside, you'll see that you can put bigger pieces of cardstock. I put all my scraps in here, but I also like to leave at least a couple of full-size sheets in here. And try to use my scraps first, but if I need to go to the full-size sheets, I can. And then right here, you have 2 large, long vertical pockets. And on this side, you have a horizontal pocket and 2 square pockets. So there's lots of room. You could fill it up really full with lots of stuff. So I'm going to grab 2 pieces of yellow from back here to cut my borders from. I need just long pieces. Set this aside and show you how to do the border. You want to put your cartridge in here with the metal teeth sticking out, pop it in place. Open up your paper tray holder till it pops in place and open your magnetic arm. Put the yellow in here until it lines up with all the edges and close the arm. Now I just remembered there's something I forgot to show you. There's a trick to doing these circles, and that is that before you start, your piece of cardstock has to be cut to 1 3/4 inches. So I'm going to do that on my trimmer. I'm going to line it up right here at the 1 3/4 inch mark, right there. Make sure it's straight all the way down, following these grid lines. The grid lines on this trimmer are great. Just pull it over just a little bit, and then make sure it's straight at the top as well, and just cut with a straight blade. And now I have the correct width that I need. I just know that because I played around with it to make this, these, and that's what I needed to cut, was to 1 3/4 inches. Now, this is too skinny for the magnetic arm to grab onto. As you can see, it ends right there. So what I'm going to do is add some Post-it notes to it. And that just I'm going to add it to the end. That just gives your arm something to grab onto to hold your paper in place. Just put it on one side. You can use the little Post-it notes or the big ones. These are just the ones I had on hand, and I think that's enough. Now I'm going to just again make sure it's lined up all the way at the top, side, and bottom, and it is, and close my magnetic arm. So as you can see, the arm is grabbing onto the Post-it notes because this is just too skinny. All right, so I'm going to flip this underneath, pop it in place, and then I'm just going to cut my border. Cardstock goes in this slit right here. I'm going to start close to me. That's just how I like to do it. You can do it however you like. Make sure the notches match up right here, which means everything fits in place underneath, and punch. And then as you gradually work your way up, pulling out just a little bit, plopping it back in place to where the notches meet. I'm going to move my scraps out of the way. Kind of have to do that in between. It's a good idea. Move it back into place. Notches match up. Punch. Move it into place. Notches match up and punch. And one more punch. And then I've done one side of my border. Now I'm going to grab a piece of darker cardstock just so you can see what it looks like. Okay. Now I need to flip my Post-it notes over so that it grabs onto this, because I'm going to cut on this side to get the full circle look. So I'm going to put the Post-it notes here. The sticky part's going on top of those little slices. Okay. And then open up my tray holder. Now I'm going to put it in this way because I want to cut this side. So put it in place. Make sure it lines up top, side, and bottom with your paper tray holder. This has little raised areas, so it just lines up the way it should. Okay. And now I'm going to cut this side. Get all my scraps out of the way because those can kind of get caught up in there if you're not careful. Line it up. My notches match up. I'm going to punch. And it's doing exactly what I want it to do. and punch all the way down. Okay, move all my scraps out of the way. Now I want to show you what it looks like on top of the screen. Take your Post-its off, and now you have perfect, like a little circle border. So you could use that as it is. Now let me cut these little edges off. Just kind of go with the curvature of the design a little bit. I love these micro scissors because they're good for cutting little tiny intricate things. Now that would be a perfect border to use, like just on a piece of darker paper at the top, and then you could put your pictures, or you could get a little more creative with it, like I tried to do, like this, and cut it into little pieces and make little circles. So I'm going to cut one of these into a little piece, and you just have to sort of go around with it with the, you know, kind of keep it at a circle. And I didn't do that perfect, so I'm going to trim it up just a little, just to make it look like it's round. Okay, that's good. And then do this side. Flip it over and do it just a little bit better. Doesn't have to be perfect, but you just want it to look kind of round, like a slice of lemon. Okay, so that's that. And then all I do is I grab my custom cutting system. Have the mat, the guide, the template, and the blade that I want to use. Now, I need a circle the size of this. I can't remember if the size of this red line, okay, right here. So that tells me, I just put this under here so you could see it a little better. So there's the red line. So what that tells me, I've numbered my templates to go with my guides. So I numbered this. Number 1 is the smallest. So I put a 1 on the back of this so I know that matches up. I mean, honestly, I can look at it and tell it matches up, but it helps for teaching purposes so that y'all can see that. So basically this template just matches up with the outside and inside black line, and that's how you know which one of the templates to use according to the guide. So I'm going to use this template with the red blade because I want a circle the size of the red blade. It's just color coded with the blade color. All right, so I'm going to grab a piece of this darker yellow, like a gold. And of course, I want to put this as close to the edge as possible so that I don't waste my cardstock. And you need to put it so that you can feel there's a track on the outside and a track on the inside. It's not smooth. It's like got little indentions, and that's what needs to go up. And then you open your blade, and these 2 little things that stick out, 2 little notches, they fit inside the track here. I want to go on the inside track because I want this side size of circle, and it goes on the inside track. So put my notches in the track, and the blade is sticking out here, cutting as I go around. So I'm going to cut. I'll just do it a couple of times just so you can get the idea. Put the notches inside the track. They both have to fit in there. And this kind of swivels around underneath as I go around. It's really easy to use. If you happen to have the older blades that go with this custom cutting system, those don't swivel. It's really handy to get these new ones because they're a lot easier to use. Okay, so now I have my circles that go behind the lemon slice, and then all I do is put a little bit of repositionable tape runner on the back of my little lemon slice. I'm going to do it on a Post-it note so I don't mess up my cardstock or my table. So just put a little bit of repositionable tape runner back there. It comes out in little clear dots that you can barely see, and I love using that because it doesn't poke through these little intricate holes. If you were to use like a regular Create Any Reach tape runner or any kind of regular tape runner, it would probably come out in little white little strips and it would poke through. Or if you used a glue pen, it comes out kind of wet and it kind of globs up. So I really like this repositionable. And then you just mount it on top of your circle and you have your little lemon slice. And let me get my picture to show you again. There you go. And that's how you do it. And to get the others, you just change your colors. And you could also cut it like this, you know, cut the circle in half and make it look like a slice. And then you could save some of your little, I want to show you something you can do with your scraps that punch out after you're done. So I'm going to cut a couple of pieces out of this gold. Oops, that didn't fit in there right. Make sure everything matches up. Oh my gosh. Okay. Make sure it's all matched up. I got a little ahead of myself. Put the magnetic arm down. Put this back. Okay. I'm just going to cut a couple of punches. Well, maybe do 3. And let's look at these scraps and think about what we could do with them. Okay. I always like to do that with my scraps. Sometimes I throw them all away. Sometimes I save them. But this would make the perfect little, if you were to cut this in half and have like a little lemon slice, you could put a few of these dropping down, like making it look like the juice is dropping down, like from a slice of lemon or lime or orange. That's cool. You could also use these if they were like cut in maybe light blue, would be cute little raindrops coming. If you had a white cloud, you could have some little light blue raindrops or silvery colored raindrops. Maybe a blue background with a white cloud and some little light silver raindrops. You could also, if you really want to get intricate with it, you could put them together and make little flowers. I would put maybe 5 together and mount that with your repositionable tape runner and maybe punch something that has a little circle. You'd have to be really, I'm making a mess, but you'd have to be really steady with your hand to do it and mount them in the right spot to make it look like a flower, make it look like a heart with 2 of them. You know, just save your scraps and think of things that you could do with them. And also, like with this, if this were cut in like blue or aqua, you could put it at the bottom of your page and line them up together and it would look like water. You could even put 2 colors, like a layer of blue, dark blue, like a royal blue, mount it at the bottom and then kind of offset with some aqua underneath and make it look like layers of water. So there's all kinds of things sometimes you can do with your scraps. So it's kind of fun to look at those and not just throw those away. And then to do the watermelon, the circle that I put a smaller circle behind here to get the black to show through the pink. And then I put the circle like I showed you that I cut with this, with the green, and to make it look like watermelon rind. And you could just put these together and do all kinds of cute little ideas. I'm probably going to do another video using these techniques for National Scrapbook Day. I'm doing a virtual crop on National Scrapbook Day. If y'all want to know about that, let me know. And I'm using all of the pretty lemon spring colored papers that we have for Scrapbook Day. So I'll use some of these ideas incorporated with that. I hope y'all have a great day. Thanks for watching my video.